What's up, y'all? It's Attorney Terry Henderson Peden, Parole Attorney TV, the Law Group of THP, serving Texas and Alabama. You know what I mean? Today we're going to talk about parole in the state of Alabama. In our last video, we talked about the parole guidelines. And in this video, I want to talk about the Ohio risk assessment. And we're going to go through the Ohio risk assessment. I also mentioned to you all, and I hope that you did, if you watched that first video, I hope that you did take the time to look up Edward Latessa, who created the Ohio risk assessment, and check out some of his videos on YouTube. I'd like to talk with him. I'd like to see what he thinks about the way that Alabama is using or misusing that risk assessment to carry out a pervasive deprivation of human rights and constitutional rights in the state of Alabama. And I didn't like it. You know what I mean? It ain't good for humanity, and it for damn sure ain't good for business. You know what I mean? But instead of pouting and crying, I figure let's empower people, right? So within this Ohio risk assessment reentry tool, you have three main components. You have a series of questions which are set up to basically evaluate a person's criminal history, social bonds, and then criminal attitudes and behavioral patterns, right? And there are also a series of other areas of concern: low intelligence, physical handicap, literacy limitations, mental health issues, no desire to change and participation, language, childcare, transportation, ethnicity barriers, history of abuse, neglect, interpersonal, other. Ethnicity. What y'all mean by that? I'm black. Can't change that. You know what I mean? Anywho, but again, you got three main levels, domains of this risk assessment. You got criminal history, behavior, attitudes, social bonds, okay? And then those other areas we just listed. And you go through each one of these categories. You have criminal history. First, you have age at the time of assessment. If you're above 24 years old, you get 0 points. If you're 18 to 23, you get 1 point. Getting into criminal history, then you got your most serious offense under 18, felony, misdemeanor, or none. Age at first arrest or charge. If you were 26 or above, you get 0 points. If you are 16 to 25, if you were 16 to 25, you get 1. If you were 15 and younger, you get 2. Which, I don't know about that, you know what I mean? Especially for people who've done a lot of time and they were children when they committed those offenses, even though sometimes they were really bad, right? Prior commitment to juvie. Is it drug related? Is your current offense drug related? The number of prior adult felony convictions, the number of prior adult commitments to prison. Have you ever received a disciplinary infraction for violence while incarcerated as an adult? I feel like it's a trick question. Mr. Latessa, come on, bro. You know people go in prison. You got to do a little bit of squabbling, bro. So you going to hold somebody for a fight they had day 2 coming into prison? Whatever. And then, have you ever absconded from community supervision? Have you ever ran off on the plug? Not on the plug, but on your PO. Have you ever ran off on your PO? All right. Next, social bonds. Have you ever been expelled from school? I don't know. Seems like a little trick bag right there. You know what I mean? Were you employed at the time of arrest? Get a job. Okay. Start a business. Work. Wake. Have you ever quit a job before having another one? I know in some of his videos, Mr. Latessa kind of breaks this down like, hey, man, that is something that, while I know a lot of people who don't live a criminal lifestyle, they do that all the time. But in terms of just being well thought out, you know, and being deliberate and having just good life skills and planning in general. So they look at that criteria. And then your marital status. Married or cohabitating with a significant other, 0 points. And if you're single, married but separated, divorced, or widowed, you get 1 point. So I know a lot of my brothers got them girlfriends, writing them letters, writing them long love letters. Y'all need to tie that knot, man, and knock you a point off this risk assessment. You know what I mean? Shit, do it too if you ask. Okay. The next one, criminal attitudes and behavioral patterns. These are kind of like, kind of a little bit wishy-washy. And I'm just going off the Ohio risk assessment that I currently have. If anybody have a version more modern, or has different set of questions, man, let's create a little community here where we can get as much of this information together, even if we have to piece it from different sources and whatever, we can create that. If y'all know, drop a link to me, shoot me a message, and I can talk about it in other videos. But we're gonna look at criminal pride. No pride in criminal behavior, some pride, a lot of pride, right? 0 points, 1 point, 2 points. Y'all know what that is, okay? And also, are you trying to do a lot of justification? Especially just take that shit on the chin, Now, if you're actually innocent, that's hard to tell somebody, because I don't think nobody would be able to tell me that if I was in prison and I know I wasn't supposed to be in prison, to just say you did it. You know what I mean? So, but for the guys who done did it, man, quit all that justifying, trying to cover, gloss it over. Just take full accountability and responsibility, okay? And then learn a lesson, and don't be insane and do the same stuff, okay? Believes that is, does the inmate believe that it's possible to overcome their past? Yes or no? Do they use anger to intimidate others? Yes or no? Walks away from a fight? Yes, sometimes, rarely. Problem solving ability, good or poor? Does a person express concern over others' misfortune? And does a person believe do unto others before they do unto you? Then you add up all those scores and you go to the back of the assessment, and you'll see that for males and females, they have two different ranking or scoring systems. And that's supported and is legal based upon recidivism statistics or reincarceration statistics for men versus women. Women come back to prison less, they're smarter than us, they learn faster. You know what I mean? So, guys, it's not something you want to file a lawsuit on. It's going to pretty much get you tossed out. All right, now you take your score from that criminal history section, you plug it in here. You take your criminal attitudes and behavior section, you plug it in here. Social bonds, you plug it in here. You add up all those scores total. That's your Ohio risk assessment score. If that total score is from 0 to 9, then you're considered a low risk. If your score is from 10 to 15, you're a moderate risk. And if your score is 16 or higher for a man, that is a high risk. Low risk, they say people scored as a low risk come back to prison about 21% of the time. People designated as a high risk come back to prison about 50% of the time. Low risk 21%, moderate risk 50%, high risk 64% in terms of coming back to prison. That is for men. Now for females, for women, if they have a low score, there's only a 6.5% chance of them coming back based upon the statistics that the creators have accumulated over time. So women are coming back, if they're low risk, they're only coming back 6.5%. A man, you're low risk, you got about a 21% chance to come back, about a fifth. A moderate female, 44%. A high risk female, 56% chance of coming back. And we would take this score and then go back to the parole guidelines, plug it in there, and continue to go through that parole guideline process of evaluation and then argument and presentation before the parole board. And then again, as I alluded to earlier, other areas of concern, I could see justification behind all of these: low intelligence, handicap, reading, writing limitations, mental health, language, childcare, transportation. But I just don't get the ethnicity and cultural barriers, you know what I mean? Because I won't get into it. Topic for another time. You know, we were going to talk about the whole systemic white supremacy thing, you know what I mean? Anywho, another day. Thank you for tuning in to me. I just wanted to share this information with you all. I think you'd be surprised a lot of the things you can find on the internet nowadays. And I just wanted to use this good old bar card and JD to come out here and try to shed some light on what's going on, so that we can get some change and get some justice and some truth off in them parole hearings in the state of Alabama. My name is Terry Henderson Peden. I'm an attorney. The name of my business is the Law Group of THP. And we're committed to it, man. We committed to it. So God bless y'all. Thank you for tuning in. All our contact info is below. You know, reach out to our office if you're looking for help with parole, revocation, 1983s, personal injury, any of that good stuff. Anything else, give us a call too. I'm sure we can probably find somebody to refer you to. God bless. Peace.